even when BKBs are popped, you know that the supports are typically going to be the heroes that zone you out or lock you down the most, right? And that's reflected in Secret's lineup. You've got Puppey, who's playing the Enigma, a pretty greedy support. You've got Kuro playing the Shadow Shaman, another greedy support. So what's the likelihood that either of them get a BKB?
I mean, the Enigma at this point in time, like, item-wise, can he go straight for the BKB and leave Zai the early mech?
Probably should, but at the same time, it's still okay for the Storm to play against, because he can just play around that timing. It's really the Queen of Pain and what she decides to do that's going to determine a lot in this game. Like, if S4 decides to go for something like the Orchid first, it would be really good, but at the same time, like, I'm just thinking way ahead into the future. If S4 goes Orchid, then VP counters him by getting a Yules on their Lina and just blowing him up in every fight with Global Silence. So S4 probably has to go something like maybe the Sumail build, where he decides to go for the Yule Scepter early so he can continuously kite.
Alright, starting off our laning phase here, we've got God on the Storm Spirit facing up against S4's Queen of Pain. FNG already going to lay some harassment down on the line. Our offlaner for VP is going to be DK Phobos playing the Earthshaker up against Team Secret's Kuro on the Shadow Shaman, and Arteezy playing the Luna. Puppey's going to be in the jungle as the Enigma. Their offlaner is Zai, who's playing the Darkseer up against Illidan's Silencer and Lil's signature Visage. We haven't seen too much Visage in the main event, but can't get much better Visage player than Lil.
Yeah, I think it was Hanskin that said, if you look at Lil's Dota buff page, it's just Visage. Like, he's like the only person in the world besides AUI that enjoys playing Visage in pubs.
Yeah, most people spam sort of like mid heroes such as Storm Spirit, but Lil actually goes for a lot of support Visage for some reason.
It's just a good hero.
Yep.
It's one of the heroes that it's incredibly versatile. It's just good against a lot of the heroes from Secret. It's almost going to be impossible for Puppey to hit the black hole if Lil is really good with the bats. And it's good against the Darkseer too, because you can just slow his momentum. Like, heroes that have instant escapes or abilities that need to cast, it's incredibly good against.
They're actually doing dual lanes right now. FNG has joined DK Phobos, probably because of the greediness of the Team Secret supports. As you said, like, the Enigma's going to be full-time jungling here, maybe rotates over for a gank or two, but most of the time is there. And then Shadow Shaman, in battling scenarios here, in 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, he's not particularly strong just because he is so squishy.
No, he's kind of bad. It's not just because he's squishy, but the initiation range on the hero is so incredibly short.
And FNG, he actually lands that one. He's going to get close enough to land an extra right click. He actually grabs the haste rune and is going to try and do battle up against Kuro. He's trying to get to the safety of Puppey, but Puppey's like, not me, man. I don't want to be anywhere near that one. First blood does go to God.
Yeah, the reason why Puppey can't help him there in that situation is because what are you going to do? You've got 1 level of Midnight Pulse and 2 levels of Demonic Conversion. You don't even want to trade HP at that point. Just go back to your jungle, save time, but this is really going to help G in this mid lane. I think with the kill, it definitely puts him a lot further ahead of S4 when it comes to farm. But when it comes to levels, S4 is going to hit the level 6 sooner. So what I'd really like to see from G is, as soon as he hits level 5 and he's reasonably certain the Queen of Pain's a creep or 2 from hitting level 6, just rotate into jungle. There's no reason to contest the lane at that point. She's just going to out-level you. That's the nature of the matchup. It's not worth it to continue to contest.
Now, Puppey, he does go for the early level of Midnight Pulse in order to better allow him to stack by clearing through trees, right? It allows you to very efficiently stack up neutral camps and maybe even set things up for Queen of Pain to join him later on and be a part of that experience.
Yeah, and the Enigma, I mean, he's doing a really good job of farming right now. He's level 4, he's about to hit level 5. He's keeping up when it comes to farming level. This is what you expect out of Enigma. I think I ran into Puppey maybe 10 or 15 times in solo queue. Every single time it was the Enigma. Every single time he completely dominated the game and just led his team to a victory. And it was incredibly frustrating to play against him. Although this isn't a pub game, I mean, he's so good at finding the levels on the hero. Like, he's just done it so many times. There is a mechanical limit that you need to just play with to constantly push through.
Yeah, a good timing for Enigma is hitting level 5 by the minute 4, and he already has it. He's actually a good 30 seconds ahead of that. Kuro right now is actually trying to rotate into the middle lane right now. Trying to get behind G and catch him out, but that's just not going to happen. S4 playing pretty aggressively. Meanwhile, FNG trying to push back Puppey away from that top rune, but to back up the Eidolons, can't really challenge that jungler.
Yeah, as soon as S4 gets this top rune, I think G just backs up and runs. Go to the jungle right now. You know, you're not certain where S4 is when it comes to his level 6 timing, but you know that it's soon. So I don't think it's worth it unless FNG just decides to sit this mid lane.
You also have the potential smoke being run out to Puppey as well. You know, as soon as he hits level 6, he's probably going to be looking for at least one gank to use that ultimate. So I like the idea a lot of just sitting back, farming up your neutrals. Bottom lane here, Zai, he's got the surge, so he should be fine here. They're going to get a lot of damage out from Lil's nuke. Oh, he didn't actually pop it in time. Seems like the nighttime vision cost Lil the opportunity there. Don't think it would have killed anyway, as it was only level 3 assumption, but would have brought Zai close.
Yeah, and if you notice that G's just abandoned this mid lane, he knows that S4 is level 6 now. There's no reason to contest the lane. I think he learned off of that CTY Sumail matchup, where as soon as Sumail hits level 6, he just dives him. That's a really common thing to happen, and I think that was just CTY slipping up a little, but G's going to be smart about this. Guarantee that he gets level 6, so that the Queen of Pain can't just dive him and punish him and get that additional level on him. Gonna get level 6 with that. Just roll back to base.
Oh, Kuro's been caught here. DK Phobos hits him with the Fissure, and they need another right click. Kuro saving his own life with the shackles, but he'll die eventually. DK Phobos is the one to secure the last hit, and will be able to get himself not only the Tranquil Boots, but also the Soul Ring's going to be coming in soon for him. This really speeds up the farming time of the Earthshake.
Yeah, now the Storm Spirit, this is the benefit. You go to the jungle, you TP top, you can bottle your offlaner once, and then they can dive Arteezy if he wants. He's not level 6 yet. They've got the Fissure available. They're just going to set this up real nicely.
Yeah, the Chain Stun's easily going to overwhelm a squishy hero like Arteezy on that Luna. So free pickoff, things going quite well. Much better for Virtus Pro than they did in game number 1.
Yeah, and G can just sit up here for a little bit. He can rotate to the jungle if he wants. There is an Eidolon just watching that top room because he wants to secure it for S4, but
Illidan chose not to go for Global Silence here at level 6, instead went for the extra kill power of a level at Last Word, or maybe the Blaze of Wisdom, not sure which he leveled first. Why do you think that is? I mean, it would seem like, as the safe lane farmer, that Global Silence is still going to be critical for Storm Spirit when he goes for these ganks.
I think it's just so that he has a little bit more lane control, but I think he should have at least gotten a level, because Puppey can just go for plays like this.
S4, yeah, he's going to pop both the ultimates there. They will be able to pick up that quick kill on G's Storm Spirit. Well worth the double ults.
Yeah, that slows down the momentum of the Storm Spirit so much, who has been relying on ganking to get farm, but still, VP's doing a really good job of keeping up with rotations. Luna's one of those heroes that is incredibly weak in the laning phase, and I mean, Kuro's playing probably one of the weakest supports from that level 2 region to level 5. Where
he has to dodge this Light Strike Array, will not be able to, and here comes the nuke. He gets popped real quick. Arteezy actually makes his rotation. He pops the ultimate. But VP, they're going to stay grouped up together and try and fight up against Arteezy. The nuke's in there. They get the kill, but S4, he has the double damage rune, gets the kill on Lil, and they get the stun. 3 kills for S4. Still, though, they picked up a kill on Zai as well as Arteezy's Luna. That's really going to set back that Luna quite a bit. It's not the worst thing in the world for VP.
I think it was Matt who I was talking to yesterday, and he said, the thing that's crazy about playing against the Queen of Pain is that you know you only have 2 or 3 seconds to start a gank, and then you're dead.
Light Strike Array lands on him, the chain stuns, and again, there's not much he can do. In a 2 versus 1 scenario, Shackles doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah, but S4, perfect rotations. That's that blink buff, you know. You TP to that bottom tier 1 tower, and you instantly come in every single time. It does so much damage.
6-4, 8 minutes in right now. Rather even game, of course. Secret are going to be a bit ahead in experience because of Puppey, primarily. He's always able to get that extra amount of XP through jungling. It's already level 8. Build-wise, we'll see what he goes for, as we don't see the remnants of a mech on either one of Puppey or Zai.
I think that you still go for a mech on... Oh, they actually just get another kill.
Beautiful pickup. Managed to get the silencer. S4 backs himself up a bit low, but they're going to be fine. VP are just going to focus on this tier 1 tower in the top lane. They know it's going to be a trade-off. A little bit unfavorable for them, but still. Got to be what they focus on, especially with FNG still not having his level 6.
What's so dangerous right now is that G he's going to run into this timing where he's just going to fall really far behind this Queen of Pain, and what she decides to build is going to dictate a lot of what he's going to decide to build. That's why he's going to hold on to his gold for a little bit at least. He'll probably still go for the Soul Ring no matter what he goes for, but after that point, he just has to kind of hold on and wait. And it does look like that S4 is going to go for the Orchid, which could backfire. It's an incredibly offensive item, but if you just get global, then Delina gets a decent amount of farm. She can just blow you up instantly.
As your judgment at this place, God, he's got a decent amount of farm net worth wise. He's actually second behind the Queen of Pain. Is this enough of a close gap for God to go for an Orchid of his own?
No, I think that as soon as he sees S4 have the Oblivion Staff, he should get something like the Yules. He's pretty far behind right now. If he rushes her for the Orchid, he's going to be probably 3 or 4 minutes behind, and they can't afford to just stay static on the map for 3 or 4 minutes without farming at all. And I just think it's more important for G to have that defensive capability in case he decides to go in. Especially for the late game when the Queen of Pain eventually gets something like a BKB, and you can't just rely on the global silence.
Now, pushing down that bottom tower has actually opened the enemy jungle up to Team Secret. As you can see, Rise utilizing that one quite efficiently. We also saw Puppey and S4
they're going to dive top,
taking some of it. Jump in, Fisher leading the way. Arteezy looks like he's going to be popped here. They use the global silence just to make sure God is going to be fine. S4 comes in, silenced up. G does have enough for a TP out, and there's no stuns coming out from Team Secret. So free kill and a walk away from VP.
Yeah, and that's huge because how often do we see Arteezy at 0-3-3 right now? At this phase of the game, VP are finally one of the few teams to really just take it to him and contest that safe laner. Luna's a hero that's kind of similar to Gyrocopter, but at the same time, there's a lot of limitations. The hero relies on being able to 5-man group up, and he just doesn't have the farm to be able to do so. And oh, this is going to be sick timing right now because if S4 dies to this is going to slow him down so much.
Yank comes in, they manage to get the Fisher just ahead of the jump, double drops, but still not enough. S4 manages to get the blink away. It felt like it was going to be a really tough, like VP had to combo that perfectly. Fisher into both the familiars and the Echo Slam to follow it up, and that just didn't quite happen. Arteezy, he's smoked up. He actually runs into FNG here. They know someone is around. Meanwhile, S4 still managed to pick up the kill there on the Visage. Going back to that bottom lane, though, the Laguna Blade getting put out on Zai, brings him a little low. God has a lot of mana to jump for it and will start going for Arteezy, locking him down. Beautiful choice. They do not want to let Arteezy get off his ultimate.
And that's a 4th death for Arteezy, and although S4 is snowballing really hard on this Queen of Pain, it's still a Queen of Pain. One of the limitations of the heroes, and what it makes it kind of more as like your strong hero, which is getting a lot of farm, is that she still doesn't have a lot of HP, and if you feed a 5-0 spree to somebody like a Storm Spirit, all of a sudden they jump ahead of you. Right. So he has to be so careful about how he dives, and there's a lot of different heroes on the side of VP that can punish him. There's Global Silence, DK Phobos is getting closer and closer to his Blink Dagger. He has to be really careful at this phase of the game.
Despite what Kuro was doing there, he was actually stopping his wards from attacking the Tier 1 tower with Catapult. It still brings it into the deny range, and Illidan will deny that tower. Secret also got the top tower in the process. Illidan, then, of course, was able to farm up those wards. Looks like he's going to be farming up the Rod of Atos, just like we saw from last game.
It's looking more and more likely that she is just going to go for the Bloodstone, but I would really just prefer him to go for even something like the Orchid or the Yule Scepter. He's just going to notice that S4 has such a quick Orchid. It's alright, it's done at 13 minutes. Actually sub 13 minute Orchid right now. And this is just going to terrorize VP because there's very little that they can do to counter him. G's going to die right here.
Yeah, they jump in, already slowing him down with the silence there. They should be able to pick up the kill. Surge, run forward, and sure enough, the Orchid pops. And G does go down. So now that they see that Orchid, it's been revealed. We said there was very little options that VP have to deal with an Orchid at this timing. What is one of the